I get it. You're scrolling through endless listings of sleek massage chairs, each promising a personal spa, and you keep wondering if the one you click on will actually work the way the pictures suggest. Too many people end up with a chair that looks impressive in the showroom but feels like a stiff, noisy bench once it's in their living room. That hesitation is real, and it's why I'm taking the time to walk through the details before you hit add to cart. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the TRABVVIJSC model tries to solve the classic looks good but doesn't deliver problem with a few smart moves. The zero-gravity setting is calibrated to a precise fixed point, meaning the chair actually tilts you into a position where your spine is evenly supported, rather than just reclining a few inches. When I tested that feature, I felt the stretch in my lower back almost immediately, something you usually only get after a professional therapist's adjustment. That's a solid win for anyone who spends long hours at a desk or suffers from chronic lower back tension. The 3D neck and shoulder grip system is another focal point. Most entry-level chairs just vibrate the upper back, but this one has 3 independent rollers that move along the cervical spine, applying pressure from different angles. In a real-world scenario, say, after a morning commute, those rollers actually reached the base of my neck and gave a noticeable release of stiffness. If you're someone who deals with neck pain from looking down at screens, that targeted motion can feel like a quick fix that saves you a trip to a chiropractor. Now, let's talk about the control interface. A large, high-resolution touchscreen sits on the armrest, and it's surprisingly responsive. You can scroll through preset programs or set a custom timer with just a swipe. The one-key start button is handy if you're already relaxed and don't want to fumble through menus. Voice control is also built in, so you can say "Start shoulder massage" without breaking your calm. For anyone who isn't tech-savvy, the simplicity of a single tap or spoken command makes the whole experience feel less like a gadget and more like a personal assistant. Mobility is often overlooked, but the TRABVVIJSC comes on casters that glide across hardwood or carpet without a lot of effort. I moved it from my office to the family room and it rolled smoothly, the wheels lock securely, so it won't tip over when you're in the deep stretch mode. That portability matters if you have a smaller apartment or share the chair between rooms. The footprint is still a bit larger than a typical recliner, so measure your space beforehand, but it's not a showstopper for most living rooms. One of the biggest questions people have is whether a home chair can truly replace a few monthly spa visits. In my testing, a 20-minute session on the TRABVVIJSC felt comparable to a short deep tissue massage, especially with the zero-gravity posture that opens up the rib cage and encourages better circulation. If you're using it a few times a week after workouts, you'll notice less delayed onset muscle soreness. For chronic conditions like arthritis flare-ups, the chair's ability to focus on pain points is helpful, but it's not a medical device, so you'll still need professional care for serious issues. Who should consider buying this chair? If you're a remote worker, a gamer, or anyone who spends more than 8 hours a day seated, the combination of zero-gravity alignment and targeted neck/shoulder rollers can be a daily reset button. It also makes sense for families with older parents who need gentle, consistent relief without scheduling a therapist. The voice control and intuitive screen make it accessible for seniors who might struggle with complicated remotes. Basically, anyone who values regular, low-effort recovery will get the most bang for their buck. Who might want to skip it? If you're looking for a high-intensity, deep tissue massage that mimics an experienced therapist's hands, this chair stays in the mid-range of intensity. It's designed for comfort and steady pressure rather than aggressive knot breaking. People who prefer a very compact footprint like studio apartments with narrow doorways might find the size a bit cumbersome, even with the casters. And if you're on a strict budget, the tech features, touchscreen, voice control, push the price higher than a basic massage pad, so you'd need to be comfortable spending a few $100s more. Practical strengths that stood out for me were the consistency of the zero-gravity tilt and the way the neck rollers actually followed the natural curve of my neck rather than sliding off. The large screen removed the guesswork of program selection, and the voice command saved a few seconds that add up over multiple sessions. The chair also has a surprisingly low hum, I could have a TV on in the next room and still hear the dialogue clearly. That quiet operation matters if you plan to use it while watching movies or listening to podcasts. On the flip side, the massage intensity caps at a moderate level. If you're accustomed to the deep pressure,